जय श्री रामानंद राय प्रभु की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय सदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनर्पितं चरिं चिरात् कारुण्यवतीं कलौ समर्पयितुमुन्नतोदरसां स्वभक्ति स्वम्। हरिपुरसुन्दरद्युति कदम्ब सन्दीपिता सदा हृदय कन्द्रेषु स्फुरितवै सखिनन्दना मेघमिदरम्बं वनभूमि श्यामलकमालध्रुवं नक्तं त्वमेतद्ये राधैर्गृहे प्राप्यम् इतं नन्दनिदेशितं प्रत्याध्वजकुञ्जध्रुवं राधा माधव यजन्ति यमुनाकुलैरहिते। भक्त्या विहीनाय अपराधलक्ष्ये क्षिप्तस्य कामादितरङ्गमध्ये पिबामयि तं शरणं प्रपन्न वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। संचारय रामाभिध भक्तमेघे स्वभक्तिसिद्धान्त जयामृतानि गौराद्भीयतेरमुना वितरुणेस्तज्ज्ञात्वा रत्नायतं प्रयायति। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। एवरीबॉडी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री श्री चैतन्य चैतामृत। We are so fortunate that we are hearing Shri Chaitanya Chaitamrita from so many days and weeks, and I think we can go ahead hearing this for decades. Yeah? And why I'm saying we are fortunate hearing Chaitanya Chaitamrita, because Chaitanya Chaitamrita is nectar. The name itself says Chaitanya Charitra Amrit, and we heard gopis explaining Tav Kathamritam. Krishna, your pastimes or your kathas, your stories is Amrit, nectarian. And we are hearing more than nectar, means the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In that sequence, today is very auspicious day, the disappearance day of one of the very, very and very, very close, intimate associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah, called Sri Ramananda Rai. Sri Ramananda Rai. There are 3.5 eternal associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We heard Shivas Pandit is Shuddha Bhakta and Gadadhar Pandit is which Bhakta? Antaranga Bhakta. Similarly, there are prominent amongst all 3.5 Antaranga Bhakta of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who are these 3.5? Sarup Damodar Goswami, Shri Sarup Damodar Goswami, and Shri Ramanand Rai, Shri Shiki Maheti, and Madhvi Devi. 3.5 eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Amongst these 3.5, Shri Ramanand Rai is prominent. In the pastimes of Sri Radha Krishna In the pastimes of Sri Radha Madhav, this pastime, the enjoying of Sri Radha Krishna cannot take place if Vishaka Sakhi is not participating or supporting those pastimes. Sakhi Vina, A Leela, Pushti Kavunai, Sakhi Gan Vistaria, Sakhiya Swadai. Without the help and support of Sakhis, the pastimes of Radha Krishna cannot be nourished. Sakhigan Vistarya. Sakhis are the one who expands those pastimes. And by expanding those pastimes, means arranging those pastimes, means because of them, Radha Krishna perform pastimes. And who are the one who's relishing these pastimes? Again, it's Sakhis. So, two prominent Sakhis of Radharani always accompanying her, Lalita and Vishakha. She Lalita Sakhi, she's always instructing Radha and Krishna. Sakhi Gan Mora, Param Surid, Jugala Premier Guru. Tadunuga Hoy, Sevi Bo Radha, Charana Kalpa Karu. Lalita Sakhi is acting as Shiksha Guru to Radha and Krishna. Vishaka Sakhi, she is always, most of the time, taking side of Radharani. If Radharani has to reveal some of her heart pain, she revealing to Vishaka Sakhi. Lalita Sakhi is Prakra. Prakra means she is very strong in dealings. She chastises Krishna. She sometimes chastises Radharani. Dhurte vraje tane tanashushta vamyam ma dakshina bhav kalank nilagvaya radhe grim swam iti shikshayanti devim gunai sulalitam lalitam namami. Radhe, no need to get submissive. Be strong and maintain your man. Let Krishna come and fall at your feet. Lalita Sakhi is like that. Vishaka Sakhi, very soft. Anuradha. Yeah? Another name of Vishaka Sakhi is Anuradha. She's always supporting Radha Rani. That Vishaka Sakhi will play a so important role in the pastimes of Sri Radha Krishna. Comes in the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Vishaka Sakhi. So, there are so many glories of Sri Ramanand Rai. The birth appearance of Sri Ramanand Rai took place at Ventapur, near Alal Nag. When you go to Jagannath Puri, and from Jagannath Puri, very close by, only 15 kilometers, is Alal Nag, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go and stay a few days there. And very near to Alal Nag, only 5 minutes distance, is a village called Ventapur, the birthplace of Sri Ramanand Rai. Jati Kul Sab Nirathak Haiya. To establish that in the worship of Krishna, there is no consideration of caste, creed, sex, color, etc. To establish this, many of the pastimes of many of the parikars, associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they intentionally took birth in a low-class family as a Shudra. Sri Namacharya Haridas Thakur, he's Brahmin, he's Brahma. But to establish there is no consideration of any caste creed in the bhajan of Shri Krishna. Jai bhajo, say bado, a bhakta hinchar, Krishna bhakti te nahi, jati kuladi vichar. One who worships Krishna the most is superior. There is no consideration of any caste creed in the worship of Krishna. Therefore, similarly, Sri Ramanand Rai also, from external material point of view, he took birth. So astonishing. So even though this topic is not very simple and not too short, this topic is uh, this topic has so much siddhanta and ras vichar, all tattva and all ras vichar. What is the extreme of Gaudiya Vaishnava vichar is everything present in Shri Rai Raman Samvad. As we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto of Bhagavatam is important amongst all other cantos. All cantos are important, but Dashme Dashmam, the 10th canto is very important. If we take out 10th canto from Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam is incomplete. And this 10th canto of Bhagavatam represents the mild smiling face of Shri Krishna. But in the 10th canto, they are Panch Pran, 5 life years, as we also have 5 life years, different names. So in Bhagavatam, in 10th canto, there are 5 life years of Bhagavatam. These are 5 Geet, 5 songs, namely Gopi Geet, Yugal Geet, Pranay Geet, Venu Geet, and Maheshi Geet. 5 Geet, 5 songs. If we take out these 5 songs from 10th canto, this means no life. Similarly, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita also like this. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is also like this. There are some very important pastimes, chapters, like the Rup Shiksha, Mahaprabhu dancing in front of Lord Jagannath, Rath Yatra, and many other. But especially this Rai Ramanan Samvad, which explains the glories of Sri Ramanand Rai. This most important chapter in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. If we exclude this chapter, that Chaitanya Charitamrita remains incomplete. The glories of Sri Ramanand Rai is explained by Mahaprabhu with his own sweet words and his own lotus lips. One of the eternal associates of Mahaprabhu, Shri Pradyumna Mishra, once upon a time he approached Mahaprabhu saying, I want to hear Krishna Tattva. Where I can go to hear Krishna Tattva? Mahaprabhu indicated, go to Ramanand Rai and hear from him. So Pradyumna Mishra has said, he came to Sri Ramanand Rai, and Sri Ramanand Rai was in Jagannath temple, was very busy in decorating, pointing the bodies, decorating the bodies, and teaching them how to dance. Whom? The Devadasis. Some ladies, young age, they have taken a vow that they will never see the face of any man in their life. Very strong. Brahmacharani vow. Will not see any man in their life. And they always used to stay inside Jagannath temple, and they only considered Jagannath as their Lord, as their beloved. And they used to dance with different mudras, different postures, pleasing Lord Jagannath. Because he's Lord of universe, he needs some entertainment. So these Devdasis, they are serving Lord Jagannath. But very strong, very staunch vow. Will never see. And they never used to see any man in their life. Only Jagannath. So Sri Ramanand Rai was appointed to train these girls, young teenager girls. And Sri Ramanand Rai used to put ointment on their bodies, decorating their bodies. and teaching them, holding their hand and teaching them how to you have to make different postures to please Jagannath. The Udipan stimulating the moods of Jagannath. So when Shri Pradyumna Mishra came to hear Krishna Tattva from Shri Ramanand Rai, he was surprised. Oh, where Mahaprabhu sent me? Where he sending me? He will explain Krishna Tattva? Oh, doubtful. The same thing as it happened with Shri Gadadhar Pandit came to see whom Shri Pandit Vidyanidhi, and he was confused to see his external appearance. Looks like a materialistic person with all endowed with all opulence around him and living very lavishly, luxurious life. And Shri Gadadhar Pandit was doubtful how Pandit Vidyanidhi will explain with Bhagavatam if he is like this. That's external vision. We have to go internal vision, and that's what I'm been telling all the time. There is a gross vision and there is a subtle vision to see and to perceive the activities, the movements of Gurudev and Vaishnavas, and even of Bhagwan. We need lot of maturity to understand. And if we are not mature, then remain a student and with humble mood try to learn this. Don't force oneself. Oh, I'm senior. I'm chanting 20 years. I'm mature enough because I'm chanting 20 years. No. Even if one is chanting 40 years, doesn't uh, uh, huh? It's not necessary that he or she is uh, mature in dealings and understanding dealings. No. So Antaranga Bhakta, Sri Pradyumna Mishra also came to see. Similarly, he also came to see Sri Ramanand Rai. When he heard this, he was shocked because he's trying to see external vision. When he came back to Mahaprabhu and asked, Mahaprabhu, where do you send me? Sri Ramanand Rai, what he's doing? Decorating the bodies of teenager girls. He knows Krishna Tattva. Mahaprabhu smiled and Mahaprabhu said, I am a sannyasi. Even being a sannyasi, even when I see a wooden statue of a woman, a wooden statue of a woman, I get agitated. But Ramanand Rai, he is decorating Devadasis. There is no vikar, there is no agitation in Sri Ramanand Rai. Mahaprabhu glorified with his own lotus lips. This is the status of, this is the glories of Sri Ramanand Rai. Mahaprabhu said, I am being sannyasi. I get agitation if I see a wooden statue of a woman. But Ramanand Rai, there is no transformation, there is no agitation, there is no vikar in him. So go and hear from him. Then Sri Pradyumna Mishra again came back to Sri Ramanand Rai and requested to hear Sri Chaitanya Krishna Tattva. And he said, as Mahaprabhu instructed him, go and tell him that I am sending you here. Sri Pradyumna Mishra also said, O Sri Ramanand Rai, O Sri Ramanand Rai, Prabhu, Mahaprabhu is sending me to hear some Krishna Tattva from you. And then he explained that Krishna Tattva. When Pradyumna Mishra heard this, he was so shocked. He heard so much and he came back to Mahaprabhu and said, Mahaprabhu, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Ramanand Rai is not a bhakta. He is not a bhakta. He is Krishna Mai. Understand? He's not a bhakta. He's minimizing the glories of Ramanand Rai to say that he's a devotee. He's not devotee. He is Krishna Mai. Means he is personification of Krishna Tattva. He's absorbed in that Krishna Katha. I've never seen or heard something like this in my life. So this is the glories of Sri Ramananda Rai. And then Mahaprabhu performed his Grasta Leela, means Navdeep pastime, 24 years. He took sannyas, he came to Nilachal, Maghi Purnima, and then Chaitra Purnima. Around that time, Mahaprabhu decided I should travel. Yeah. 24 years in Navdeep Dham and 24 years the rest of his life. I mean, in total 48 years he remained in this world. But 6 years after sannyas, means after sannyas, 6 years, he traveled to South India. And then 18 years, he stayed in Nilachal, Sri Jagannath Puri Dham. So 6 years he's traveling. And he wanted to go South India for many reasons. External cause, internal cause. External cause, changing so many people who are following the different kind of worships. Mahaprabhu wants to change them to the worship of Radha Krishna. Mahaprabhu wanted to make them Gaudiya Bhaktas. And he did. And he delivered so many personalities. And he come across so many Brahmins, Vasudev, Vipra, etc. He got Brahm Samhita and Krishna Karnamrit also from South India. He met Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, Sri Rangam. So there are many causes. Giving prema to demigods. So he's visiting all these temples, Kartikeya temple, Shiva temple, Narsingh temple, Jed Narsingh temple. And why he's doing dancing in those temples, giving prema to demigods. Oh demigod, you're serving me from so long. If I can give prema to animals in the forest, why not to demigods? No one was bereft of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gave prema to them. So these are the external. What is the internal cause? The important point. Mahaprabhu wanted to see and to meet Sri Ramananda Rai. Where? At Godavari, on the bank of Godavari. That was the prime purpose of Mahaprabhu. The internal cause, prime cause, for him to travel to South India. He traveled all length and breadth of the whole country and went to all the Devalyas, means the temples. But who inspired Mahaprabhu to see Sri Ramananda Rai? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. When Mahaprabhu decided I should go to South India touring, then one day Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya approached Mahaprabhu and he said, Tabe Sarvabhaum kahe Prabhu charane, avashya palibe Prabhu mora nivedane. When Mahaprabhu was deciding to depart, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya submitted the following at his lotus feet. My Lord, I have one request. I hope you will kindly fulfill this. It's so much humble mood. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is explaining this. Ramanand Rai ache Godavari tire, adhikari hayenate ho Vidyanagare. In the town of Vidyanagar in South India, on the bank of Godavari, there is a responsible government officer named Ramanand Rai. He is living a very luxurious life like a king. Because Maharaj Pratap Rudra was the king of the whole country, means the whole that state, the complete state. Utkal, Maharaj Pratap Rudra. But this province, Vidyanagar, was being delegated to Sri Ramanand Rai. So in other words, as a representative of King Pratap Rudra, Sri Ramanand Rai was taking care of this territory. So he is also like a king. शुद्र विषय जाने, शुद्र विषय ज्ञाने, उपेक्षा ना करिबे, हमार वचन तारे अवश्य मिलिबे. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, Mahaprabhu, please do not neglect him, thinking him belong to a Shudra family, engaged in material activities. He may appear like a materialistic person because he is like a king.
就是没在
He is a
想，
representative.
有关了噶，有来了，有关了噶。我为什么要这么干呢？
你好，Captain. 谢谢。Yeah. So please do not neglect him, thinking he belongs to a Shudra family. And his appearance might be like a materialistic person because he is a king. But it is my request that you meet him without any fear. I humbly request you, please meet this personality, Ramanand Rai. तुम्हार संगे योग्य ते हो एक जन, पृथ्वी ते रसिक भक्त नहीं तार सम. We just heard Mahaprabhu glorifying Sri Ramanand Rai. Now Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is glorifying Ramanand Rai, saying, Ramanand Rai is a fit person to associate with you. No other devotee can compare with him in knowledge of the transcendental mellows. He is Rasik Varje. You will not find anyone more Rasik like him in this Tribhuvan, in this universe. He is Rasik Varje, the best of all Rasiks. Pandit आर भक्ति रस, दुहेर तीनों सम सीमा, सम भाषिले जानिबे तुमी तहार महिमा. Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, he is most learned scholar as well as expert in devotional mellows. Actually, he is most exalted, and if you talk with him, you will see how glorious he is. So already Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is creating a greed in Mahaprabhu, because if Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is requesting Mahaprabhu, there is some gravity, there is some meaning behind this. Mahaprabhu is understanding this. He said, Alokik Vakya Cheshta Tarana Mujiya Parihas Kariye Tar Vaishnavaliya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, I could not realize when I first spoke with Ramanand Rai that his topics and endeavors are all transcendently uncommon. I made fun of him simply because he was a Vaishnava. I realize now how he is so glorious. You will not find anyone. So please, Mahaprabhu, since you are going to South India, you must go and see Sri Ramanand Rai on the bank of Godavari. Now, Sri Ramanand Rai Samvad. I'm getting very restless to come to this chapter, which is Madhya Leela. We have not yet completed Adi Leela. We are on the first chapter of Adi Leela. So many days. Now I'm getting so much restless to come to Madhya Leela because this Ramanand Rai Samvad is so glorious. Sri Ramanand Rai Samvad is full of all tattva, Gaudiya Vichar, the Gaudiya philosophy, and Ras Vichar, where who is the speaker and who is the listener. That's the quality of Shanvanti, Gayanti, Grananti Sadhava. The glories of sadhu, the nature of sadhu is that those who are great speakers, they also want to become listeners. Those who are listeners, they get excited to become speakers. Imagine Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, endowed with all opulences. He's Krishna. And one of the opulences of Mahaprabhu or Krishna is knowledge. Aishwarasya Samagrasya Virasya Yasasya Shriya Gyan Vairagyasya. Gyan, complete knowledge. Mahaprabhu, being Nimai Pandit, was teaching students on the bank of Ganga in Navdeep. Same Nimai Pandit, he used to trouble so many Brahmins with his logic, the philosophy of logic, defeating those Brahmins, and they got scared of Shri Nimai Pandit coming on the way. Nimai Pandit, his knowledge is he defeated Keshav Kashmiri, who came to challenge him. Nimai Pandit में Mahaprabhu, he defeated Prakashanand Saraswati, who was so brilliant and excellent in Mayavad philosophy. Mahaprabhu also he changed, transformed Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. Name itself says Sarvabhaum, very renowned personality. So all this examples is when Mahaprabhu acting as a speaker. Any other? Yeah. These are examples when Mahaprabhu is speaker. Mahaprabhu is giving Shiksha teachings to Rupa Goswami. वृंदावन रास केली वार्तम काले नुक्तम इन शक्ति युक्त संचार व्यात्म पूरा सा प्रभु एव प्राग एव लोक सृष्टि. Mahaprabhu infused this potency in Sri Rupa Goswami so that he can describe Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, the ocean of mellow of bhakti. Mahaprabhu became speaker when he gave teachings to Sri Sanatan Goswami Pad, Sanatan Shiksha. So much knowledge. Just on the edge of this question, Sanatan Goswami Pad said, "Who am I? What is my position? What is constitutional position?" And you see, Mahaprabhu became a speaker, a Vakta. But when Mahaprabhu, being a good speaker, he also wants to hear. And he approached Shri Gadadhar Pandit at Shri Tota Gopinath Temple, Jagannath Puri Dham. He was hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Shri Gadadhar Pandit. Mahaprabhu is hearing Bhagavatam. He became listener. And now he is coming South India to meet Ramanand Rai, to hear about Krishna Tattva, Radha Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Sakhi Tattva, and then Prem Vilas Vivarth Tattva. And very attentively, Mahaprabhu is hearing from Sri Ramanand Rai. Means Krishna hearing from Vishakha Sakhi about what matters, about what subject, the subject of Ras Vichar, because Sri Ramanand Rai is Rasik Varjay, the best of all the Rasiks. There is no one in comparison with Sri Ramanand Rai as Rasik Vaishnav. That's why, what was the seva of Sri Ramanand Rai? Hey mat dine dine स्वरूप रामानंद सने निज भाव करे न विदित भारे विषय ज्वाला होए भीतरे आनंदमय कृष्ण प्रेम अद्भुत चरित्र. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to hear at Gambira in Jagannath Puri along with Sri Sarup Damodar Goswami and Sri Ramanand Rai, and they both making Mahaprabhu crying so much, making Mahaprabhu weeping, because they both were enhancing the moods of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu is hearing those songs of Chandidas, Vidyapati and Sri Geet Govind by Sri Jayadev Goswami. Mahaprabhu is relishing those. And these two Prabhus, they are singing this. Even seeing Mahaprabhu is crying, but they know, Bhare Vishya Jwala Hoy Bhitare Anandmay. Externally appears a person is in pain and crying, but internally relishing complete nectar, bliss. And that was the service of Sri Ramanand Rai and Sri Sarup Damodar Goswami. Therefore, beginning of this chapter, how wonderfully explained. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanchare Ramabhida Bhakta Mege. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Gauranga, is the reservoir of all conclusive knowledge in devotional service. Is a reservoir. Reservoir here means ocean. Mahaprabhu is compared to as an ocean of all conclusive knowledge in devotional service. And he empowered Sri Ramanand Rai, who is compared to as a cloud of devotional service. I'm coming to this point. This cloud was filled with conclusive purport of devotional service and was empowered by ocean to spread this water over the sea. What is the meaning? Mahaprabhu in this verse is compared to as an ocean of nectar. In a commentary, Srila Gurudev and other acharyas explain Amrit Samudra Roop Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the ocean of nectar. What is that nectar? Bhakti Siddhanta, the conclusive knowledge of scriptures, which is so nectarian, and Mahaprabhu is compared to as ocean of that nectar. So as we know how the cloud formation happens from the ocean. Yes, there is evaporation. The water is salty, right? The ocean water is salty. And with the process of evaporation, cloud formation, and from the clouds pouring sweet water. Clouds pouring sweet water come back to ocean. The evaporation with salt water and pouring happened with sweet water, salt water and sweet water. Similarly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here is compared to as ocean of nectar. And from that ocean means Mahaprabhu empowered Sri Ramanand Rai. Just like ocean create clouds, Mahaprabhu empowered Sri Ramanand Rai, and Ramanand Rai is compared to as clouds and showering what? Nectar back to ocean. Understand this process? That sweet water falling back to ocean. Mahaprabhu has empowered Sri Ramanand Rai, and now he is hearing from Sri Ramanand Rai. Again back to him, and is relishing. The jewels which Sri Ramanand Rai Prabhu is showering. Mahaprabhu came to this temple. Narsimha Dekhiya Kaila Dandvar Panati Prema Veshe Kele Bahu Nitya Geet Suti. Mahaprabhu visited Jeerd Narsimha in South India, and he's paying obeisances to the deity of Sri Narsimha Bhagwan. And Mahaprabhu started dancing, praying to Narsingh Dev. Shri Narsingha, Jai Narsingha, Jai Jai Narsingha, Prahlad Desha Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bringa. Yeah. Mahaprabhu is praying. Then there's so many details. I'm just picking up few important points. Mahaprabhu came to the bank of Godavari, and he saw on a palanquin, a king is sitting on a palanquin, and the Brahmins, the Vedic Brahmins, chanting Vedic hymns and Vedic mantras. And there are also many assistants and associates who were playing instruments. And in this way, with so much luxurious and eloquent manner, they are bringing a person in a palanquin who is the king of their territory, and that was Sri Ramanand Rai. Mahaprabhu saw this. हाँ, गोदावरी देखी हैल यमुना स्मरण तीरे वने देखी स्मृति हैल वृंदावन. Mahaprabhu saw Godavari and he reminded him of Yamuna. हाँ, and when he saw the forest on the bank of river, he remembered Shri Vrindavan Dham. सई वने कत शन करी नित्य गान गोदावरी पार हन रहन कैल स्नान. Mahaprabhu starts singing and dancing to see Godavari, the river Godavari, remembering Yamuna Maharani. Then, हेन कैला दौला चढ़ी रामानंद राय स्नाल करिवार आइला भजन बाजन बजाय. Mahaprabhu saw Shri Ramanand Rai accompanied by Brahmins and some singers. प्रभु तार देखी जानिला एई राम राय ताहार मिलते प्रभु मन उठी धाय. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understood that the person who had come to bathe in the river is Ramanand Rai. Mahaprabhu just by seeing understood he is Ramanand Rai. The Lord wanted so much to meet him that his mind immediately began running after him. Yeah. तथापि धैर्य धरि प्रभु रहिला वसिया Ramanand आए अपूर्व सन्यासी देखिया. Although Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was running after him mentally, he patiently remained sitting. Ramanand Rai, seeing the wonderful sannyasi, then came to see him. Now both are seeing each other. Mahaprabhu seeing Ramanand Rai and Ramanand Rai Prabhu seeing Mahaprabhu. Surya Shat Sam Kanti Arun Vasan Subalita Prakand Deh Kamala Lochan. Shri Ramanand Rai saw Mahaprabhu as brilliant as 100 of sun. The Lord was covered with a saffron garment. He was large in body and very strong build, and his eyes are like lotus. Shri Ramanand Rai saw the beauty of Mahaprabhu. When देखिया तहार मने हैला चमत्कार आसिया करिले दंडवत नमस्कार. When Shri Ramanand Rai saw Mahaprabhu, he paid obeisances to him. उठी प्रभु कहे उठ कहो कृष्ण कृष्ण तार अलंग्य ते प्रभु हृदय सत्कृष्ण. The Lord stood up and asked Ramanand Rai to rise and chant the holy name of Krishna. Follow Krishna Krishna. Get up and say Krishna Krishna. तथापि पूछिला तुम्हें राय रामानंद तिहो कहे सही हन दास शूद्र मन. Very interesting here. Mahaprabhu inquired whether he is Ramanand Rai. Are you Ramanand Rai? And he replied, yes, I'm your very low servant and I belong to a Shudra community. How humble is Shri Ramanand Rai? See, yes, I'm your humble servant and I belong to a Shudra community. तबे तार कैला प्रभु दृढ़ आलिंगन प्रेम वेश्य प्रभु भृत्य दोहे अचेतन. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Shri Ramanand Rai very firmly. Indeed, both the master and servant almost lost conscious due to ecstatic love. They both embraced each other and they both together fell unconscious on the ground. Together. Imagine if you sing first time, if you sing someone first time and you are doubtful, are you so and so? Oh, yes, yes. Embracing and both fall unconscious. Strange, huh? Seeing this, their natural love for one another was awakened in them, and they both embraced and fell down on the ground. They both understood who they are. They embraced each other and they both fell on the ground. Sambhusved Ashru Kampu Pulaka Vivarnaya दुहार मुखते सुनी गदगद कृष्ण वर्ण. Symptom of transcendental ecstatic symptoms manifesting on their body. Paralyzed, perspiration, tears, shivering, palpitation, and paleness appeared. And they both are chanting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Then those who are Brahmins, they Haila Chamatkar, Haila. Brahmins Haila Chamatkar. They were so astonished. What is happening? What's going on? They both seeing each other first time. And this effulgent, brilliant sannyasi, whose effulgence is like million of suns, and he's embracing a Shudra. That's not proper. The Brahmins began to think, we can see that this sannyasi has a luster like a effulgence of Brahman. But how is it he's crying upon embracing a Shudra? So what they are understanding, even though this sannyasi is so effulgent, the effulgence of like a Brahman, Brahma Jyoti, but then why he has to cry? They're not understanding this. That means they're not understanding Mahaprabhu. There is no transformation in Brahm. There is no vikar in Brahm. Brahm never cries. This is the understanding. But they don't know Mahaprabhu is Par Brahm. It's not only the effulgence of Krishna, but he himself is Krishna. He is Par Brahm. So why he's embracing a Shudra, who is a materialistic person? He's a king. Hey Maharaj, Mahapandit Gambhir, Sannyasi Rasparsh, Mat Haila Astir. They thought this Ravanand Rai is governor of this territory, a highly learned and a great person, a Mahapandit, great person, great knowledgeable person. But upon touching this sannyasi, he became restless like a madman. He was grave. He's grave. He's so learned. Why he's getting so much emotional by touch of this effulgent sannyasi? Brahmins are not understanding. Therefore, when they both regained consciousness, Mahaprabhu began to smile and speak as follows. See what Mahaprabhu is saying, glorifying Sri Ramanand Rai. सार्वभौम भट्टाचार्य कहिला तुम्हार गुने तुम्हार मिलिते मोर करीला यतने. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has spoken of your good qualities, and he has made a great endeavor to convince me to meet you. He inspired me. He told me I must meet you. Toma milivar mor etha agman bhal haila anyase painu darshan. Indeed, I have come here just to meet you, Mahaprabhu said. It is very good that even without making an effort, I have gotten your interview here, means your presence here. So in this way, great conversation. But Mahaprabhu saw, because of some Vijatiyas here. Vijatiyas means, huh? Vijatiya means those Brahmins not able to understand, means those who are external personalities. Those Brahmins, they are not understanding our embracing and our meeting. There is no need to ask or to hear anything from Sri Ramanand Rai right now. Whereas Ramanand Rai is Swajatiya. Swajatiya Ashe Snigdhi. Sadhu Sange Swatovare. That's the best example. The conversation of Sri Ramanand Rai Prabhu and Mahaprabhu. Sajati Ashe Snigdhe Sadhu Sange Swatovare. Associating with Sajati Ashe Bhaktas. And Mahaprabhu is showing in this example as exemplary where to associate and to whom to associate. He is associating with his Sajatiya as Vishakha Sati Sri Ramanand Rai. Right. So Mahaprabhu said, I am a Mayavadi sannyasi, a non-devotee. I am also floating in the ocean of love of Krishna simply by touching you, Ramanand. I am a Mayavadi sannyasi, but I am floating in this Krishna flame just by getting your touch. Both of them, they are glorifying each other and showing extreme humility. But now, Mahaprabhu wants to hear something from Sri Ramananda. Question. When you approach a sadhu, question. Sri Mahaprabhu raised a question to Ramananda Rai, and not a simple question. He's starting that questionnaire from something from very simple, and he will go further. Means take off from ground and sky is the limit. Mahaprabhu asked question, Prabhu kahe, पढ़ो श्लोक साध्य निर्णय राय कहे सर्व धर्म आचरणे विष्णु भक्ति है. Now the conversation starts and our time is going to end. This was only an introduction. The introduction, the meeting of and the glorification of Sri Ramananda Rai. Anyhow, we are remembering him. We are hearing his name and uttering his name. Definitely his mercy falls upon us. His compassion will fall on us. So we still have time. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramanand Rai to recite a verse from the revealed scriptures concerning the ultimate goal of life. Padho shlok sadhya nirnay. Recite a verse from Shastras. Mahaprabhu always like authenticity, bona fide, not just say something with your mind. No, I want to hear the ultimate goal of life, but with authentic words. So maintaining that authenticity, recite a verse. What is the ultimate goal of life? Ramanand replied, if one execute the prescribed duties of his social position, means varnashram dharma, he awakens his original Krishna consciousness. Rai kahe sor dharma acharane Vishnu bhakti hai. Anyone who is following one ashram, the duties of one ashram dharma, as brahmachari, grasta, vanprasthi, sannyasi, brahman, kshatriya, vaishya, and shudra, everyone has their prescribed duties. So stick to those duties, and following those duties is actually Krishna bhakti, means Vishnu bhakti. This is Vishnu bhakti. So who established varnashram dharma? Chatuvarna mahesheshtam gun karma vibhakashva. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying this. I am the one who established varnashram dharma according to gunas and karmas, activities and qualities. So Mahaprabhu wanted to know the verse. So Sri Ramanand Rai, he quoted this verse. Varnashramachret Purushen Parapuman Vishnu Aradite Pantha Nyanya Tad Toshu Karanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is worshipped by proper execution of prescribed duties in system of varna and ashram. This is a verse, authentic verse, which established this. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must be situated in the institution of Varn ashram, 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. Mahaprabhu said, Eho bahiye. Aage kaho aaj. Mahaprabhu said, this is external. Aage kaho aaj. This is bahiye, external. You imagine Ramanand Rai is giving a verse, authentic verse. But Mahaprabhu said this is external. That means in Shastras, even though explained by Krishna, there are some external and there are some internal meanings. And Krishna, Mahaprabhu, he don't like one get involved with the external meanings. He want everyone to go through to come to the proper understanding of internal meanings. Again, a point of maturity. Mahaprabhu is establishing here. Eho bahi. This is quotation of Shastras. Yes, but external. And that's the reason. Agyevam gunan doshan vayan dishna visokan. Dharma santajyeva sarma bhajate sacha sattam. 11th canto Bhagavatam. Krishna said, I've given so many instructions in Shastras. Agyevam gunan dosham. Considering the qualities and the faults in those instructions. One reject, gave up varnashram karma, but only worship me. That personality is superior, is Uttam Bhakta. It's little philosophical. Those who are very inquisitive to hear philosophy, they must be relishing this. Mostly our all lectures up till now, based on, grounded but based with philosophical aspect. Because Chaitanya Chaitamrita is philosophical, it's PhD level. It's not an ordinary scripture. It's not a foundation. It's not only explaining about difference of body and soul, but something very, very high, PhD level. And you can relate this when you're hearing, because I'm not saying anything from my own. I'm very illiterate. I have no knowledge at all. Whatever I've spoken, whatever I'm speaking, what I'm going to speak is what I heard from Acharyas, Srila Gurudev, Srila Maharaj, and taking conclusion from their lectures, from their understanding, I'm just trying to share that. Whereas I'm a foolish person. I have no knowledge. I don't know anything. Very honestly, I'm telling you. So, only by following the footsteps of Acharyas like Srila Gurudev, Rasik Acharya like Srila Gurudev, and all our Guru Vargas and Vaishnavas, whatever we have heard from them, I'm trying to share that. And of course, I'm reading from Sri Chaitanya Chaitamrita. I'm not, concluding from my mind anything. Yes? So all glories to Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, all credits to him, and all glories and all credits to Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, commenting on, giving elaborate explanation on all these subjects, and especially this Sri Ramanand Rai Samvad. Oh, beautiful. Srila Gurudev, year 2001 or 2002, in Purushottam month, we spent it 15 days in Jagannath Puri Dham with Srila Gurudev. And in those 15 days, Gurudev touched this. Only I can say touch, not explain, because he was going very deep with all his realizations, giving so much quotations of the verses. And he was explaining Sri Rai Raman Samvad in those 15 days. And those 15 days passed so quick. And everyone was just hearing, only looking at the face of Srila Gurudev. explaining what he's saying, what language he's using. We never ever heard this before. Going so deep, just like in Puri, there's a deep ocean. Gurudev was taking all the devotees deep into that ocean of Bhakti Ras, explained by Sri Ramananda Rai. So there was one ocean of salt water who's roaring all the time with the waves. And Gurudev explanation of Sri Ramananda Rai was also like an ocean, not roaring, but very sweet, uh, musical, melodious recitation of Sri Rai Ramananda Bhagwan. Yeah, Gurudev was making everyone sink into that. Yeah. So, don't know how much I say, but every time Sri Ramananda Rai is coming up with some references from Shastras explaining Mahaprabhu, not every time, sometimes, and Mahaprabhu is saying this is external, this is external. Even that shloka, the important words from Bhagavad Gita saying, Sarva dharman paritajye, mam ekam sharanam vraja, aham tam sarpapebhyo, mokshami mashu. So important verse. Krishna saying, give up all your prescribed duties related to Varna and Ashram and surrender unto me. If you think you will occur some sins because of giving up, rejecting those essential duties which you are bound to follow towards your family, towards your society, being social. If you think there is some sin you are going to occur with that, ma shucha, ma shucha. Don't fear, don't fear. I will take those reactions on my head. Don't worry. So important words, right? When Sri Ramananda Rai uttered this word, Mahaprabhu said external. Imagine. Then what is internal? Even that important verse from Bhagavad Gita. He said Bhagavad Gita Sar. Mahaprabhu said this is external. Eho bhajye, agi paho aag. So many verses Mahaprabhu is saying external, external, external. Even this verse. Why? Because in this verse, giving up Varnashram Dharma is mentioned, but there is nothing input or positive to include is mentioned in that. That is not mentioned in that. Krishna instructing Arjun means in this verse there is some fear, and Krishna is specifying Arjun of that fear which you might think you will occur if you give up your fight or your Varnashram Dharma. So giving up, rejecting Varnashram Dharma means giving up this something negative, but there is not inclusive of something, inclusive of something positive. Even though this verse is Sharnagati, yes, Sarva Dharman Paritajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Sharnagati, surrender to me. This is what the meaning is, right? Surrender to me. Giving up all other Varnashram Dharma, all duties. But Srila Gurudev said, this Sharnagati is of ordinary level. I heard Gurudev lecture saying this Sharnagati is ordinary level. And Mahaprabhu said this is external. So Gurudev said, Srila Gurudev said, there is a Sharnagati. Huh? There is also one Sharnagati which is superior than this. And Srila Gurudev explained, what is that Sharnagati? Anukulasya sankalpam pratikulasya vivarjanam rakshatiti vishwaso goptityam varnam tatha atmanikshepa karpanya. The 6 limbs of Sharnagati. That's actually Sharnagati, which shows input, because the word anukulasya sankalpam, accepting those things which are favorable to bhakti. So some hint of some inclusive nature of bhakti is added on in this Sharanagati. Sharanagati plus Bhakti. Whereas in that verse, Sarva Dharman Parityajya is giving up, rejection of Varnashram Dharma, but there is no addition mentioned here. Understand the point? It's deep. So Sharanagati starts not from that point. Sharanagati starts from this point. Anukulasya sankalpam, pratikulasya vivarjanam. And then Srila Gurudev explained, what is the meaning of rejection of Varnashram Dharma? And he explained there's three categories of person in the society who gives up Varnashram Dharma, the duties of Varna and Ashram. Understand? One are those who are Agya. Agya means Shishi Radha Madhav ki jai, huh? Agya means ignorant. They don't even know what is the meaning of Varnashram Dharma and what is the meaning of practicing the duties of Varnashram Dharma. They don't even, they are ignorant in this. So if they're rejecting this, it is not significant. Understand? What is the meaning of rejection? Tyag. If you have something and you reject, that's called rejection. I have $100 or 100 euros. I renounced that. I saw a poor person in the street. I gave this. That means I renounced $100. But there's a poor person, I mean a beggar in the street at a crossing, red light, begging for something, no clothes, no food, no shoes. Can we say he's in a renounce order? Can we say he's rejecting something? No. He has nothing. So what is rejecting? Rejection means if you have something and then you giving up. That's called renunciation. That's called rejection, right? Understand? So anyone who is following Varnashram Dharma means who is following and who is knowing Varnashram Dharma and then rejecting is actually called rejection. It's called renunciation. But Western world, they're not familiar with what is Varnashram Dharma. You know? So being Agya means ignorant. And then you giving up, that's not a glorious. That's ignorance. So that's one category Gurudev said. Another category is atheist, who knows, but still they don't follow. Those who know this, but still they don't follow. And then the third is the devotee category, one who knows, following, but for the sake of some advancement in something more high level of bhakti, they give up Varnashram Dharma. And Krishna specifying, saying, Ma Shucha, don't fear, give up. Okay, Krishna, I'm giving up. So now I'm surrendered to you. Yes, but no. Why not? Because Sharanagati start from Anukulasya Sankalpam, Pratikulasya Vivarjanam. That's why Mahaprabhu said this is external. So, Gyan Mishra Bhakti, Kar Mishra Bhakti, all mixtures. Mahaprabhu said external. Then Ramanand Rai said, Gyan Shunya Bhakti. Mahaprabhu said, Eho Hai, yes. That's the first point. I agree to this. Prior to that, everything external. Now, this is the proper, this is the beginning. And what is that verse? Sri Ramanand Rai gave evidence from where Mahaprabhu said, Eho Hai, yes, this is the point. Jnanam priyasam udvanti namanta eva jivanti sanmukridya bhavadya vartam dhane sthita shruti gatam tanovan manovir je prayaso jit asi api trilokyam. Where is that? Jnanam priyasam udvanti namanta eva jivanti sanmukridya bhavadya vartam Yes. Meaning is, Lord Brahma said, this is 10th canto, Brahmaji Stutis. Lord Brahma said, my dear Lord, those devotees who have thrown away the impersonal conception, means that Brahma Gyan, impersonal conception of absolute truth, one who have given up those practice of the Gyan, impersonal Brahm, and have therefore abandoned discussing empiric philosophical truth, also given up that. This is one point. Another is, should hear from pure devotees about your holy name, form, pastimes, and qualities. Jivanti Sanmukridya Bhavadya Vartam. Bhavadya Vartam. Your name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Your pastimes, which are Satang Prasangam Amritya Samvido. Very powerful pastimes. So, how you have to hear this? Sthane Sthita. Sthane Sthita means situated in their own positions. Sthane Sthita, situated in one's own positions. What is that position? The shade of the lotus feet of Sanmukritam sadhus, the pure devotees. Yeah, the Sthane Sthita, situated in one position, doesn't mean in this lockdown everyone is situated in their own centers or in their own respective house. That is not the meaning of Sthane Sthita. Whereas sometimes so many Maharaj, sannyasis, we speak to each other on phone call and we just jokingly say, now we are Sthane Sthita. Some one Maharaj in Jagannath Puri, some Maharaj in Mathura, some in Faridabad, some in Delhi. Everyone Sthane Sthita, situated in one's position. But this is not the meaning. Here Sthane Sthita means sitting at the lotus feet, the shade of the lotus feet of pure devotee, and hearing Bhavadya Vartam. So what will happen? Then you are conquered. Oh Lord, you are conquered by such person, although you are always unconquerable. This is the point where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Ego high. Yes. From where? From here, this is going to start. So this is a takeoff only. Before that was taxing. It was only on the runway. But now the takeoff starts and our time is over. But let us patiently wait for this time when we come to this Madhya Leela. And then we are going to hear with the commentaries of Srila Prabhupada, the commentaries of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Gurudev, hearing in detail Sri Raya Ramana Samvad. I wish this day comes soon and we will hear this. Very interesting topic, so much to learn. If you just read this, so much to know. Where Sri Ramanand Rai Prabhu, after explaining this, is explaining about Dasya Vatsalya Ras, Sakhya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, Madhur Ras. Then explaining Krishna Tattva. Then explaining Radha Tattva. Then explaining Sakhi Tattva. And then Prem Vilas Vivarta. Vivarta means, English, opposite, Vivart. Opposite. That's something so high, very high. Mahaprabhu closed the mouth of Ramanand Rai. Stop it. Mahaprabhu with his own hands. In this world, no one is qualified to even hear this. What to speak of realizing this? Or, realize this. Mahaprabhu closed his mouth. Ramanand Rai stopped. Prem Vilas Vivarta. Where the Prem get more and more condensed in each and every step. Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. And after Prem, Sneh, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag. More and more stages and getting more and more Prem get condensed. Anurag. Then Rood, Adi Rood. That stage of Adi Rood, Prema, which is so condensed meeting of Sri Radha and Krishna. But in that very close meeting, that Adi Rood Prem, Radharani feeling separation from Krishna. This means opposite. In that intense union, feeling intense separation. In that intense separation, feeling union. That's called Vivarta. The two meanings of Vivarta, actually three. Opposite, Bhram means bewildered. The million of yuga appeared like one fraction of a second. And a fraction of second appears to have million of yugas. रास उत्सव संप्रत्तो गोपी मंडल मंडिता योगेश्वरेन कृष्ण तासम मध्य द्वय द्वय. Ras Leela, the festival, Ras Utsav Sampravatto, the festival of Ras Leela started. And they have Ras Leela, one night of Brahma. Imagine, this Ras Leela took place one night of Brahmaji. And one night of Brahmaji means 71 times Chaturyug is one Manvantra, and 14 such Manvantra is one night of Brahma. Ras Leela took place. And at the end of Ras Leela, they say, oh, only a fraction of second. This is Vivarta. And Shunyayati Jagat Sarvam Govind Virahin. कहाँ से आरंभ होता है? युगायतम निमेशेना चक्षुष प्रभाषितम. With a blink of eye, if we are not able to see you, O Krishna, it appears to us as million of yugas have passed. That's called Vivarta. Prem Vilas Vivarta. Very high. Mahaprabhu closed his mouth. Ramanam. Bas. Yeah. So all these details are mentioned. Mahaprabhu is hearing this, relishing this from Vishakha Sati. Krishna is hearing this. Krishna has become disciple, and Vishakha Sati has become guru. In what realm? On the realm of Prem. The guru has become disciple. One day Krishna Jagat Guru become disciple and hearing from Vishakha Sati all these details. You see? Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. There's so many. The machine got warmed up. But Hare Krishna. We also have other schedule after this. Thank you so much, all of you, attending this Sri Rai Raman, this appearance of Sri Ramananda Rai Prabhu. Tomorrow we will hear our Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.